connect with every Indian is to put an end to voice call charges in India. No Jio customer will ever have to pay for voice calls again. Come, be a part of the Jio movement.
CNBC TV18 in association with VoiceWhat presents a new series that decodes the journey of brands that were made in India.
As HPL, we have been following the Make in India ever since our inception. We are primarily doing the manufacturing in-house.
Tune in to find out how HPL Electric and Power is contributing to Prime Minister Modi's Make in India vision.
Presented by VoiceWhat.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Well, mid-cap IT player Mindtree has cut its revenue guidance for the second quarter. Here is more from RAJAN, who is the MD and CEO of Mindtree.
Announcement says the revenue in growth in Q2 will be weak. It will be first time after I think 5 or 6 years when we'll have a slight decline in revenues in Q2 compared to Q1.
Yeah.
And we've not had a sequential quarterly decline for many years now. Coming to the margins, the biggest impact was obviously because of the revenue slowdown, and that's what is impacting the margin. However, the fundamental positioning for Mindtree, the confidence in our clients, continue to be very, very strong, both for the specialized digital kind of services as well as the differentiated way in which we deliver some of the traditional services as well. So I would see this as in a way like a slippage of a few things from Q2 to the second half of the year. We continue to be confident that the full year will still be a strong year for Mindtree. We will meet the NASSCOM industry estimates for this year. Okay. And when the revenue momentum comes back, profitability in the second half of the year will also be better than the first half of the year.
And as India's iconic Reserve Bank Governor RAJAN'S term comes to an end, we take a look at the legacy of the man who chased down inflation, arm-twisted banks to come clean on bad loans, and enjoyed a cult status at home and abroad.
I think he created an impact. He's leaving a good legacy behind.
As India bids adieu to Rajan, the 23rd governor can have the satisfaction of leaving behind some strong legacies. The most important one is convincing the government to give the RBI an inflation target of 4% plus minus 2%. The results have been convincing. Inflation has fallen from an average 10% in the 3 years prior to Rajan to an average 5 to 6% in the past 2 years. Besides, he has succeeded in shifting focus to the correct measure of inflation, which is consumer price instead of wholesale price, which is a long-term positive for policy making. Finally, the government is all set to appoint a monetary policy committee of 3 economists for a 4-year non-renewable term, which can ensure more independence to policy making. These may well be Rajan's permanent institutional contributions to India.
Rajan is, before I talk negatively about central bankers, but he's at least one who understands the problems. He's probably the best central banker in the world at the present time.
As a banking regulator, Rajan showed rare courage. He forced banks to come clean on bad loans that earned him much criticism and enemies in corporate India.
My name is Rajan and I do what I do.
But as he leaves, Rajan can have the satisfaction that a large part of the poison is recognized. He has given many tools to banks to put back broken companies back on track or sell them off, though very few have worked. However, Rajan's contribution here is to ensure that bankers have begun to arm to his debtors and not the other way round. A third contribution of Rajan is giving over 20 banking licenses and putting the process of licenses on tap rather than once a decade as it used to be. Along with a unified payments interface, phone banks, Jan Dhan, banking and payment became much more inclusive under Rajan.
On the reform side, financial inclusion, I think it's an unfinished agenda. We need to do a lot.
In the past week, Rajan has hastily moved steps to force out a bond market by seeking to let RBI accept corporate bonds as collateral in its repo transactions. He has also mandated that companies with over 250 billion rupees of loans have to henceforth borrow from the bond markets and not banks. Both moves are fledglings and may be big items in the next governor's agenda. In Mumbai, Ritu Singh.
Well, that's all that we have on this edition of Business Saturday. Stay tuned to CNBC TV 18.
अंकल जी आला वाले